Sometimes it is difficult to say what we need to, even some simple things can be a threat in our conversation. Imagine you could talk fluently anything to anyone, that's why you are going to see it here. 1. A grammar rule to know how to say your things. 2. A text to improve your pronunciation. 3. The meaning of some difficult words to improve your vocabulary. Do you want to get rid of your English concerns? You've got a good right step. Here you improve your 4 skills: listening, reading, writing, and speaking to get a higher score in international tests to improve your career abilities and to immigrate to Canada or any other English-speaking country. Pay close attention to this video to find out how. In exchange, you help us by clicking on the bell icon to subscribe and on the like button to spread the name of Smart Mind. Now, here we go.
Grammar rule name. A, N, versus. In part 2 of the English articles tutorial, we continue our list of 25 articles usage tips. Here, we introduce the article the and discuss how to choose between the indefinite articles a, an, and the definite article the, use 9, and are called indefinite articles. Indefinite means not specific. Use a, an, when you are talking about a thing in general, not a specific thing. Examples: I need a phone. Not a specific phone, any phone. Mark wants a bicycle, not a particular bicycle, a bicycle in general. Do you have a driver's license? In general, use a, an, when talking about a thing which is new, unknown, or introduced to a listener for the first time. Also use a, an, when you are asking about the existence of something. Examples: I have a car. The car is being introduced for the first time. Thomas is a teacher. This is new information to the listener. Is there a dictionary in your backpack? Asking about the existence of the dictionary. Similarly, use a, an, to introduce what type of thing we are talking about. Examples: that is an excellent book. Describing the kind of book. Do you live in a big house? Asking about the kind of house. I ate a thick, juicy steak. Describing the kind of steak. Remember, you cannot use a, an, with plural nouns because a, an, means one or a single. Examples: I saw bears in Yellowstone National Park. Not correct. He saw bears in Yellowstone National Park. Correct. Use 10. The is called a definite article. Definite means specific. Use the when talking about something which is already known to the listener, or which has been previously mentioned, introduced, or discussed. Examples: I have a cat. The cat is black. There is a book in my backpack. The book is very heavy. Do you know where I left the car keys? The listener knows which specific car keys you are talking about. Do you own a car? Is the car blue? You assume they do have a car after asking about it in the first sentence. Nobody lives on the moon. The moon is known to everyone. Important: you can use the with both singular nouns and plural nouns. Examples: I saw the bear in Yellowstone National Park. Correct. He saw the bears in Yellowstone National Park. Correct. Use 11. Many clauses and phrases make the noun known to the listener by telling the listener which person or thing we are talking about. Let's look at an example sentence. Can you give me the book on the table? We use the in this sentence because the phrase on the table tells the listener which book we are referring to. We are not talking about other books. We are talking about a specific book that the listener can see or already knows about. Learning to recognize such identifying clauses and phrases will help you use the correctly. Examples: did you read the book which I gave you? He didn't like the movie that you suggested. He loved the dessert with chocolate and cherries. The phone on my desk belongs to Ken. Did you know the man who was talking to Leonie? However, not all clauses and phrases make the noun known to the listener. Some are simply descriptive. They add extra information, but they do not tell the listener which specific thing we are talking about. Examples: he bought the house with a big backyard. This combination tells the listener which specific house he bought. He bought a house with a big backyard. This combination tells the listener what kind of house he bought, but not the specific house he bought. 2. Text name.
From VOA Learning English, this is the Health and Lifestyle Report. In the United States, restrictions are loosening and COVID-19 cases are decreasing. However, eating disorder cases are on the rise, report doctors and specialists. For people with eating disorders, the pandemic created a more dangerous situation. In lockdown, feelings of anxiety and loneliness are common. Experts warn that being alone and feeling anxious can increase the severity of eating disorders. "We are absolutely seeing massive increases," said Jennifer Wilds. She is an associate psychiatry professor and director of an eating disorders program at the University of Chicago Medicine. Wilds told the Associated Press that some patients are waiting 4 to 5 months to get mental health treatment and medication. Before the pandemic, she added, wait times were usually only a few weeks. Currently, Wilds' program treats about 100 patients. Before the pandemic, the number of patients was half that amount. A treatment program for eating disorders at the University of Minnesota is experiencing the same thing. Daily calls to its program from people seeking treatment have doubled. In 2019, there were about 60 calls a day. Since the pandemic began, that number is up to 130 calls a day, said Jillian Lampert. She is one of the leaders of the program. Lampert stated that increases were seen in all races and ages. She says, however, that women and girls are more commonly affected than men. Some of her patients have told Lampert that their lives feel out of control because of the pandemic. As a result, they use binge eating as a way to deal with their problems. Binge eating is a disorder in which a person often eats large amounts of food and feels unable to stop. Other people are doing the opposite of binge eating. They are taking the message, "Don't gain pandemic weight," to the extreme. They are restricting their meals to the point of anorexia. Anorexia is one of the more common eating disorders. Anorexic people restrict eating to achieve extreme weight loss. It can cause abnormally low blood pressure and organ damage. Bulimia is another eating disorder. Bulimic people eat large amounts of food and then force themselves to throw it up. Peyton Crest, an 18-year-old from Minnetonka, Minnesota, said she developed anorexia before the pandemic. She has relapsed twice since it began. When her classes moved online, she suddenly lost her support system of friends and classmates. She would spend all day alone in her room and could only think of food and her anorexic behavior. She got treatment last June, but then relapsed last September and spent almost 2 months in a treatment center. Her school recently returned to in-person classes, and she was accepted to Rhodes College in Memphis, Tennessee. Crest says her mental health has improved greatly. Eating disorders affect at least 9% of people worldwide. They will affect nearly 30 million Americans in their lifetimes and cause about 10,000 U.S. deaths each year. These numbers come from the National Association of Anorexia Nervosa and Associated Disorders. A study of electronic medical records from about 80 U.S. hospitals found a 30% increase starting after March 2020, compared with numbers from 2019 and 2018. The study was published in April in the Epic Health Research Network Journal. The leader of the Epic study is family doctor and researcher Dr. Dave Little. He said that the COVID pandemic has given society, and in particular young people, a lot of mental health difficulties. This has been a big event that has disrupted a lot of people's lives in many ways, he said. It may be months or years before we know the true damage, Little added. But he said the information should serve as a warning to parents and healthcare providers. Talk to your kids, talk to your patients. Ensure that eating behaviors remain healthy, Little warned. He added that the sooner you respond, the better. Here are some signs of eating disorders from the U.S. National Eating Disorders Organization. Thinking about weight, body size, and food too much. Restrictions against types of food, for example, bread or sugar. Seems uneasy eating around others. Develops strange food routines, such as chewing too much or not allowing foods to touch. Skipping meals or not eating enough at regular meals. Avoiding usual friends and social activities. Disappearing immediately after eating. Extreme change in mood or behavior. And that's the Health and Lifestyle Report. I'm Ana Mateo.
Remember to check the links for Canadian companies searching for employees outside of Canada in the description.
3. Words in this story. Anxious, afraid, or nervous about what may happen. Massive, large, an amount or degree. Throw up, vomit. Relapse or recurrence of symptoms of a disease after a period of improvement. Disrupt, to cause something. To be unable to continue in the normal way. To interrupt the normal progress or activity of something. Mood, a person's emotional state. Routine, a regular way of doing things in a particular order.
Say to us your questions, and pretty soon, you will see what we have to say. Leave your comments about this video, and we will know what you like and what we can do better to help you. I'll see you at the next one. Bye for now.